they have to go from the presentation back into concentrating on what they're doing. And the whole presentation sometimes I know can scare the athletes a little bit. They realize what's going on, so they get a little bit more nervous. But they have a few shots to get into the finals, and
for the first competition series.
And here it is, the first competition series.
Yeah, the athletes are ready. Now we'll see.
Start.
This is Veronika Ladovičova. She's a really experienced athlete.
We already have a 10.9 from Lambert.
Yeah.
That was the first shot in this finals, a 10.9.
Yeah.
That's a great shot for the first shot.
Great first shot, and really the way you want to open the final.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the best. Absolutely the best.
Also, Pantovic started with 10.8. Really good shootings from Lambert and Pantovic with high score in kneeling.
I guess we were right about the weather situation. It's pleasing them.
Yes, and the light is almost perfect on the range, so they are really comfortable. But we see Pantovic, second shot is only 9.5, so, and Lambert is still on the move, 10.1.
We have to always remember it's 50 meters. It's not easy at all.
No, it is really hard, and it is not so close. The 10-point rink is small, and the athletes are doing really great job here in the line. And we can see the coaches. Normally the coaches are more nervous than the athlete.
Yeah.
Because they cannot do anything about it.
They can just watch.
Yes, they can watch.
I don't feel like they're very nervous. I feel like it's a very calm finals. They started very calmly. They're concentrated.
Yeah, if they are, they will not show it to us, because it is the process of training, a lot of them. So the slightest feeling of being nervous on the line is not shown to us as an audience.
They're already an experienced shooters, so they know how to deal with that.
But we can see very fast shooting from Lambert. She is currently in the lead with good score, 51.0.
She already finished. Her and Sevenger are already finished.
Yes.
Everybody else is still shooting now. Farmer.
Zilliger also finished with 49.8.
They're all finishing now.
Yes.
So we have a 51 points from Lambert in the lead.
After the first.
Yes, second place is Norman Anna.
Difference.
0.3 point behind her. 0.8, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, behind them, behind Anna, we have Taylor with a 0.3. That's a very small difference. This is just while they're shooting the air rifles, their fingers are almost never above the.
Yeah, 50-meter rifle, the position of the hand and also the style is a little bit different, especially in the kneeling position. And now we can see here we have ISSF style kneeling shooting from Swedish shooter, and we have some athletes who are shooting kneeling from the wheelchair and the table. So they have a special kneeling block on the table which is 10 centimeters in diameter, and they have to have their elbow of a human's elbow. So this is they are having almost the same conditions like able-bodied athletes. And they have to use the special kneeling block for kneeling, and the right hand must not rest on the table.
Marivikova had a few nice shots, currently in
third position. And Lambert is still leading. She's shooting quite nicely, but not so high tense like she started, but she's still in the lead. And Lekhara from India is now shooting better, and she's in third place now.
We have Norman here, a few solid tens, and Zellinger just shooting 10.9, if I'm not.
Yeah, Norman, she's very good today. Her day form is really high. She set a new world record today. So it is her day, and
It's probably expected of her a little bit, which can sometimes make the shooters a little bit more nervous, but she's holding on.
yeah, it's hard when you set the world record in the qualification, and then everybody expects from you you will get a gold medal in the final, but it's not so easy, and you have to put a lot of effort there.
Yeah. After this series, we have Norman of 1.2 behind Norman. We have Pantovic and Pantovic in the 8th position behind.
German is Hiltrop. Natasha Hiltrop
yeah.
is in the 7th position now.
We have another series now of 5 shots.
Yeah, this is the last kneeling series, and the athletes are in. So Hiltrop shot 10.5 per shot, so when we started speaking about her, she started shooting good. Now we are with Jelena Banter from Serbia. She's currently on the 6th position. And again, Elke Zilliger.
Yeah, 10.7.
Yes, in this final, you must keep the good shooting. And
yes, it's a little bit on the right. I'm curious if she's gonna.
And 8.8 from Lekhara from India. She was really shooting good, and then
yeah, Zillinger also.
Yeah.
She had an 8.8. That even one mistake puts them lower on the ranking.
Yes, and we could see we have some wind on the range, but the misses are only high and low. It's not so off direction, so it is probably that must.
And sighting time, start.
Yes, now we are in the 7 minutes changeover time, so the athletes will change everything from kneeling to prone position. So they will change the rifle settings, they will change the equipment, and we will see who will start the best, because here is also important that you change as soon as possible from kneeling to prone, because the sooner you change, the more sighting time you have. And
yeah, and they should prepare themselves for the prone to know that the rifle is okay and their position is okay, so they can continue with the finals as they did in the kneeling position. But I'm always curious which position is favorite position for the position.
Then in the world shooting para sport, because we have some easy, they don't like kneeling because it really hurts your leg on which you are kneeling, but also when you see the top athlete and when they tell you when you're shooting prone, the top shooting in prone, you can feel your whole body hurts. So also it's not so comfortable position like it looks on TV.
We cannot see them. They're actually
yes, they are changing the settings of the tables, of the rifles, and also with the world shooting parasport, the coach can help them, but the athlete must cooperate in this changeover. It must not just look. They must do some job.
Things to do and to change. You can make a mistake easily.
Yes.
If you're nervous or something, it's not even the changing part is.
Yes, it is really demanding, and you must set the right settings to your equipment, otherwise you will not be able to sight yourself on the target, on the sighting shots correctly. So this is very important that everything is set.
Okay, we can see some of them already sight shooting. So the prone position for the World Parasport, as we can see, they put like a little table.
They put
on the chair.
On the parasport, yeah, they use the same table on kneeling, most of them, but they have to have both elbows on the table, but the lower part of the lower arm must be high from the table. They must not lay the complete arm down on the table. They must raise the lower part of the arm from the table, and we have to have some angle.
Do you think are we going to see some ICCF way of?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we have a Swedish representative, the Norman.
Yes, Norman Anna will shoot prone in the ISSF style.
Yeah.
She's preparing slowly to her competition, so
she's going to be probably the last one to prepare, so she's gonna have the least amount of time for prone, for sighting shots.
Yeah, I saw that she had some problems with setting her sights on the rifle because she has to change both sides. This is the difference. If you shoot RSSF style, you normally have to change the sights, the butt plate, and a lot of other stuff. And when you're shooting from the wheelchair, there is not so much changes to your equipment you have to make because the position is quite different when you sit on the wheelchair. We can see Anna is now getting ready and she will start shooting her sighting shots.
Yeah, she's down on the floor. She's the only one
Yeah, she's
in
the
this
only
finals
one.
who's gonna be shooting. So she's actually showing us the ICCF way.
Of the prone position. We are now with Anna. You can see
She's starting.
Yes, she's laying in
This
the
is gonna be
ICCF way.
her first sighting shot. She's the last one to start her sightings.
I'm also
This is
curious what will her first shot be, and she shot
It's
10.
a 10.2.
Yes, she changed the rifle very well. We'll see. We
She
need
did
some
everything well, yeah.
more shots, but now we can see the wind conditions. The wind flags are quite steady. There is not a lot of wind on the range,
Yeah.
and so the Atlas has really good condition, and also we can see the light on the target and on everything is very good. So it is good final for them. Nice conditions.
We can see Pantovic had a little bit of trouble with setting her rifle. So she had a whole group
On the right
on
side,
the
yeah.
right side, but now she's shooting tens. I guess she
Readjusted,
found it,
yes.
readjusted her rifle. But Norman is continuing with some good shots in the such side series with a 10.4 now.
Yes, and the prone position will be much faster. There is shorter time for the 5-shot series, so the athletes must sight themselves quite well, and they must prepare for their first series on the match in the prone position, because you have to shoot prone good. The results in prone are high, and whatever mistake you make there, it will cost you a lot later, especially if you're not so good in standing position.
The prone is, I guess, most important for them. They always they think they're gonna get the highest scores in the prone and then move on from there.
Normally the highest scores are in prone position, and the prone specialists can get some advantage if because in standing it will be every point important in this final.
As we can see, Norman is she's very good in her sighting. She's having a 10.9 and 10.8.
Yes, it is her day. It is her day. She set a new world record. She feels very good, and we can see on the sighting in the prone she is on the target. She is on the mission to win this final.
So now we have the prone position, right?
Yes.
For the next competition series, load.
Okay, so the chief range officer is giving the
Start.
commands for them to start their first
Fun.
a 10.8 by Hiltrop. That was her first shot.
Yes.
Lambert with an 8.8.
And Norman 10.7. Yeah, she started really bad.
10.7, great.
Yeah. But we have changed in the ranking. Now Pantovic is on 7th place and Farmer is 8th. So Pantovic is going up on the ladder slowly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lambert was up there, first 2 or 3 positions. Currently she is second, but she shot 5 now.
And again, Pantovic shot 8.9, really bad shot, and now she has everything on the left side. So maybe it was problem with her position before, we mentioned in sighting. But look at the Norman.
Norman is
for 10
doing
in
so
a row.
great.
Yeah, and she's building her advantage, and she is one of my favorites in this final.
She's oh no, we don't have favorites. Come on.
We can have in live stream. But look, her form is great, her feelings are good, and she set a world record today. So It will be
Yeah, she deserves a good final.
it will be cherry on the top of the cake
Yes,
if she
of
have
course.
a good final.
There she is with a fourth 10 now, a 10.4. She took the lead.
Yes,
She's followed by Vadivichova.
and
Vadivichova, who
Lambert on third place.
Lambert on third place, yeah. Vadivichova now shooting a 9.7, but before that she had 4 10s in a row.
Stop.
It's the end of the first series.
But surprise is Natasha Hiltrop. She was 7th in kneeling position, and now she climbed on the third place after the first series of prone, which is quite a big step. So she's doing really well in this final also.
And we can see Norman taking a huge advantage of 3 points before the second place Vadivichova. In the 8th place we have Hiltrop following Farmer in the 7th place
For the
by
next
4
competition
points.
series, load.
They have two more series.
Yes.
Start.
This is the second one.
Now we are with Lekha Rawani from India, very young athlete. I think India started going to World Cups quite late, but they're investing so much in shooting sport, both in world shooting para sport like in the ISSF shooting, and really they have good scores and they are winning medals around the world.
It's always interesting when they started to shoot, because Hiltrop, she's a 27-year-old and she started to shoot in 2004. But for instance, Farmer, she started shooting in 2015. That's only 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
she got a long way to go. She can learn so much more in the upcoming events. She has enough time to build her confidence. She's in the 8th place right now, but
Yeah, Farmer, she started late, and she last year she showed she is the material for the big competitions. She won some competitions, and really she is one of the future stars of
she
world
climbed
shooting
up very
parasport.
fast. If you think,
Yeah.
like, if you see that she started in 2015, that's only 4 years. That's a short amount of time to get so far, actually.
Yes, and really high scores she's achieving. But again, my favorite in this final, Norman, she shot
Norman,
10.7. She's
10.7,
really
yeah.
shooting really well, and she is the lady of the day,
Yeah.
women's free position today.
Zelaya now I see has some nice shots. Now she shot a 10.8. She's currently in position 5.
Yes.
But yeah, we have Hiltrop. She has a really nice series. Look at this. She had a last one at 10.5, all 10s the whole series. We can see now the difference is a bit smaller than it was. It's 2.8 between Norman and Hiltrop. Norman in the first place. In the 8th place we have Pantovic, only a
And 7th,
0.2
Farmer
difference.
Taylor. Yeah.
7th, yeah, only a 0.2
For the
difference
next competition
behind
series,
Farmer in the
load.
7th place. And they're starting with their third series, 5 shots.
Start.
Okay, no one has shot anything yet. Let's see what the first shot will be. Lambert at 10.4, also Hiltrop at 10.4.
Yeah, and
Norman
continuing
10.3,
yes.
yes. 10.3, and we have to call out Lekara. She had a 10.8.
Yeah, really young athlete. We can see she's really calm, and she controls herself. She has some bad shots, but she comes back after every bad shot. So she is also very much future star of this
Yeah.
sport.
She's young, but she comes off as serious and calm,
And like
and
routine
very
shooter.
has
yeah.
it all together.
Yeah.
She shot a 9.9 now after that 10.8, but Norman is continuing with her great shots again at 10.1. I don't know if even, oh, now she had a 9.9. I
Yeah,
just wanted to
I
say, I
think
don't
it
know
is
if
first
she,
nine,
yeah,
her first nine in the prone.
I also think that's her first 9, right? I can see the whole group
Yes, it
went a
is.
little bit to the right for, well, for Vadivichova, Norman, and Zillinger. Maybe the wind has blown.
Maybe, but
the
now if you watch the flags are completely
Yeah,
still. There
flags are
is
completely still.
almost no wind on the range, and we have really good conditions.
It's usually really good here at shooting range Pampas. The wind conditions, I always hear the athletes say, "Oh, it was really great,"
Yeah.
because the wind here is Osijek usually is not really a windy place, so shooters like to come here and shoot the 50-meter because it's very still.
So don't have standing position. We have 15 shots in standing, and we can see now the coaches, they will help the athletes to change from prone to standing.
Yeah.
And again, we see Norman. She will shoot standing in the ISSF position, so she has also again quite more job to do to adjust her rifle to the ISSF positions.
Yes, but Norman is on fire today. She's very, very good. I'm enjoying watching her shoot. She's a really good athlete, a really good shooter. She's currently leading with a difference of 2.4. That's the biggest difference in the finals, except between Zelinger and Vadivichova in the fourth and fifth position. Vadivichova in the fourth position. So now they're helping. The coaches are helping them.
Yes, the coaches are helping the athletes, but we said it
The
before.
athletes are all
Must be active part of this changeover. Otherwise, if they are not active, they will get warned.
It's very interesting. They have these what do they call it?
Electrical tools
Tools,
changing
yeah.
the tables.
To
Yeah, but
change.
yeah, for changing the settings, but they may not use any tools to fix their chairs to the floor, so they can only have the tools for changing the settings of the table.
Oh.
Because in the past some athletes had the special tools which they set their chairs, and so the rules are now clear, and you may not use any power tools to set your chair to stabilize it with the tools. Everything must be
That's
done
interesting,
manually.
Yeah. We're going back to the traditional shooting.
Yes.
I'm very curious of how Norman's gonna do in the standing position. I didn't see her shoot the standing one yet.
But she is on the move. She has good feeling probably, so I don't expect she will have a lot of problems.
She has a lot of work to do, but I can see her. She's very calm in it. She has it all together.
She's experienced. She knows
Yeah.
what is her task, and she knows what to do. Here we can see Pantovic. She's also preparing in Vadivichova. So really, it is
Vadivichova having some problems with
the sides. So we can see the coaches are helping them, and a lot of different changes, especially when you go from prone to standing. That's why they have also more time, because there is a lot of changes of the glasses setting, changes of the rifle stock sights, changes of the wheelchairs, and they may not use a shooting table on the wheelchair, so we can see all the tables are down from the wheelchairs in standing position in SH1 class.
Oh, somebody is already starting with their
The
sighting shots. I think it's Farmer.
Pantovic is already shooting sighting, and I think Hiltrop will also use ISSF position, or she will shoot from a high stool. I cannot see from here.
I also think I saw her standing up.
Lambert is.
I think she's gonna sit on the
high stool.
Yeah.
Lambert and Hiltrop are shooting from a high stool. Then we have Pantovic, Farmer, Vadivichova, Ziligar. They will shoot, and Indian Lekhra will shoot from the wheelchair, and our Lady of the day, lady on the fire, you said before, Norman Anna will shoot ISSF standing position. So
Girl on fire.
yeah. So we can see all the styles, almost all the styles that are used in the world shooting parasport shooting now in this final for ladies in free position.
That's interesting. I've seen the coaches actually pulling their jackets down in the wheelchair. I can see them. All of them are doing the same thing. They have to pull down
Yeah,
the
they
jacket
have
because
to.
it gets up.
Yeah, jacket gets up and they have to straighten the material and everything. And also it's important because they have a marking on the back.
Yeah, we can see. We can
Pantovic
see
and
what the
Taylor
yeah.
have the. We can see on the Farmer Taylor back. She has a marking on her jacket.
Yeah.
This is the height of her backrest she's allowed
Yeah,
to have.
yeah. And I just saw Vedevichova, her coach helped her. He helped her adjust the rifle as the rifle was on her
Mhm.
already. So that's not something you see normally.
But we could see sometimes they adjust. They are holding the rifle in one hand and they are adjusting the butt plate with the second one. But now really we can see. So Hiltrop and Lambert they are shooting from a high chair. We can see they are sitting on the chair with their legs, and important here is they must be able to lift their legs from the floor where they are shooting from the high chair. Otherwise, if they would not be able to do this, they will have like 3-point support. But when they are using high chair, it is simulation of standing shooting. Then we have Pantovic and Farmer and Vadevichova. They are sitting in the wheelchair, so they must not touch any part of the wheelchair while they are shooting.
Yeah, and then we have Norman standing completely
Classical
without any help.
Any support. She's using palm rest for the rifle and she's using classical standing position style.
I just can't get over how calm Lecada looks. She is so calm. She's so young, and I would be so nervous, but
yeah, but
she has it all together. At least she looks like she has it all together. I mean, she shot a 7.9 now in the sights. You couldn't even tell by her face at all.
Yeah, I think this also Indian team puts a lot of work for their.
We have Farmer here, and she looks a little bit
disturbed. She's not calm.
She's
she
a
does
little
not
bit
look
disturbed
calm.
from the finals. I guess maybe she got a little bit tired. It's a lot to do for the finals. I mean, first you have the kneeling, then you have to change the position, then you have the prone, and after that standing. That's a lot of shooting, actually.
Yeah, also and after the qualification, but I think also she's a little bit disappointed. I think she wanted more in this final, and we could see on her face that she's not so happy with her. Maybe she does not feel good, or she's disappointed with the score. So we will see. The standing position is very demanding, and big differences can be overcome in standing, and we can see shots in the 8s or maybe even in the 7 easily in standing. So athletes must be very careful, focused, and very concentrated on these 15 match shots that are left.
You can see Hiltrop and Lambert. They're actually facing each other.
Yeah, Lambert is left-handed.
Lambert is left-handed. Yes, that's an interesting. When that happens, that's interesting for the shooters when they have to look at each other. It's usually the left-handers. They always have to look at somebody in front of them, and right-handers don't usually have to. They see the back of somebody, the athlete in front of them.
Yeah, left-handed shooters are used to looking other athletes to their faces, because normally there's not a lot of left-handed shooters. And in this situation, Hiltrop, we don't know if she's used to watching
somebody
her neighbor
from
the front while shooting. So sometimes this can be distraction.
Okay, the chief range officer called 30 seconds for the sighting, so soon enough they're gonna start with their 5-shot series in a standing position.
Yes, and we can see Pantovic and Farmer, they are behind, but Pantovic is only 0.5 behind Farmer before standing position starts, and then they have a big gap to the 6th place. It's It's 7.1.
That's probably why Taylor Farmer wasn't very pleased to be continuing,
For
because
the next
she knows
competition series,
that's a really
load.
big difference to
Yeah.
catch. She's probably already a little bit tired, and as I
Start.
can see, Lachara looks a little bit also tired.
Yeah, it was long day for the athletes.
It was a long day, and it's long finals, so
And the temperatures in the morning
Yeah,
was
it was
quite
hot in the
warm. It
morning.
was hot and very humid, and it was not so pleasant. And they had to
let's see what Lachara shot. A
10.4.
10.4. That's nice.
Norman 8.6 and Hiltrop 9.4. So
Wow, Norman started differently than
In
she
Rome.
did in the other positions. I hope she gets back on track.
yes, we'll see what will happen. But first shot, maybe it was
That's
just
only
a
a
small
first
mistake.
shot.
Yes,
Yeah, she didn't really have enough. She had the least amount of time for sighting because she had to prepare herself the most. Oh, we can see that Seliger is not very pleased. She hit a 9.1, I guess. Yeah, a 9.1 after already shooting a 9.
and Norman 10.6. So
Okay, Norman's getting back on
and
track.
Lambert is shooting quite well. Look at 10.7 second shot, and really nice shooting from her.
Lambert is doing good. She's in the second place right now behind Norman. Pantovic is still in the 8th place, but let's see what Norman does now. Norman shooting at 10.5.
She's on the move
Nice.
again. Also, again shooting really.
I guess she
well.
had to make at least one little mistake.
Yes, she had to do something.
She had to do something.
to give their opponents
Yeah,
some chance in
some
this
chance,
final.
yeah. Or to break the nervousness from
Yeah.
her. She's like, okay, now I did something.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
But surprisingly, Hiltrop is shooting quite bad this standing series, so she's dropped from second to third, and Lambert is
Yeah,
shooting
Hiltrop
really
wasn't very happy.
and really good in this standing, so they changed the position. Norman is in the lead still, and then Vadoviceva on 4th place, and I think there is not so much difference between her and Hiltrop. So
No, there's not. Yeah, they're actually pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
Norman continuing at 10.1. So those are three tens in a row. That's good.
now when we see the athletes from the front a little bit, we can say also something about the rifles. Some of the athletes are using the tube on the rifle, and some of them are not using, so this is difference. The tube, with the tube you gain a more sighting distance, so you can be more precise, and also with the right settings of the tube you can have better precision of your rifle, so the grouping of the weapon is much better, and this is really a good addition. And we can see now that Lambert, her sights are
Stop.
also a little bit off to the one side, because she has quite different position of shooting, and the sights are offset.
Yeah, Norman finished with a 10.5.
Rule of this ranking
Still in the lead. She had, I think, even a bigger difference, but now it's 3 points.
Yeah, 3
That's
points.
enough of a big difference, actually. 2.4 of a difference between Hiltrop and Lambert here in the second and third position. We have
For the next
Farmer
competition series,
in the 8th
low.
place, 0.9 behind Pantovic. They're shooting now one more series
Start.
of 5 shots,
Yes.
right? And then they're starting to shoot
Single shot.
shots.
But after the second series of 5 shots, we'll have to eliminate the 2 lowest ranking athletes, so we'll have 7th and 8th place decided.
Yes.
But
That's
interesting is that the difference between Ziliger and Pantovic now it's not so big.
Yeah, so
Before
that's gonna be
it was 7 points, and now the difference is going lower and lower. So
it's going to be between those two. And I can see Norman now starting with 8.9 again. I guess that first shot in the series is not her favorite
yeah.
in the standing position.
But Vodovicova,
Vadovicova, she went to 7.8.
7.8. Really, really bad shot from her.
Yes, that went.
This is really strange.
It fell on the left. I can see a few shooters having some shots on the left. Also, Norman hitting a 9.3 on the left again. As I can see, the wind there. It's not so.
It is not. Maybe the
it's not
light
so
is changing
windy.
because
Yeah, it's the
sun is
light.
showing outside
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, and the
The
light
clouds
is,
are moving.
yes, and the light is changed a little bit, and you have to have a lot of experience to handle all of this. Otherwise, you will get offset.
It's always very interesting how they have to, think about all of these things. They have to be concentrated enough for just the shooting part. Then they have to look at the wind. They have to look at how much light is there on the target. It's actually so many technical details.
Yeah, really, it is. It's almost a science. It is a science to adjust everything to those parameters. So now we could see Norman is now right,
Yeah,
and
Norman is trying
Lambert
to get back.
and also Lambert is shooting nines now. So Norman is still safe.
Norman is definitely still safe. The only one shooting very good now is Hiltrop.
She's quite good, and she's holding on her third place.
Yeah.
But also we can see Pantovic. She has some bad shots, and then she shots 10.7. So Pantovic is still seventh, and she's now fighting with Vadovitsova because Zilliger was shooting also nice, standing this series, but she again shot 8.5. So
Yeah.
ranking is changing rapidly in this series.
And Farmer had some good shots, but then she shot at 7.7 and now back with a 10.0. We'll see what's gonna happen there between Pantovic and Farmer, and also Zellinger who fell in the 6th place. Her last shot was an 8.5.
Yeah, but Pantovic shot 7.3, so
Yes.
she is 8 now. So 7th and 8th place are going to Farmer Taylor from United States of America, and 8th place goes to.
Okay, so we can see now Pantovic Jelena.
8th place.
She won 9th place, the representative of Serbia. And also 7th place goes to the representative of USA. It's Taylor Farmer. So now after 2 series of 5 shots, we have 2 athletes leaving the
range, yes.
leaving the finals. We have 6 athletes left in
Yeah.
the finals, and we're starting with single shots, right?
Yes, and after each shot, the lowest ranking athlete will be eliminated.
So they had enough time with the kneeling and the prone and the standing to get their place in the finals, and now it's after every shot.
Yeah.
Every shot is deciding.
But it is, look, Norman is only 0.4 in front. Hiltrop
Yeah,
on second
she
place.
was at
She
least
was
3
points,
points.
yes.
Yeah, maybe she was. Well, maybe the standing position isn't her best one. So
Favorite, yes. But we'll see now the first shot.
Lecara
Okay,
at 10.7.
But Norman 10.3, so.
Norman 10.3.
Yeah, Lecara is now fourth position, so she joins the fight for the medals now.
Yeah, she's definitely joining the.
Yeah, 1.4
The
behind
fight.
third place, and in standing, a lot of it can happen.
And now after this shot, we have a 6th place. I didn't expect for Veronika Vadivichova to go out of the finals right now, but there she is, winning the 6th place, the representative from Slovakia, also a silver medalist from Paralympic Games in Rio
it is
2016.
quite a surprise that she is leaving this final as 6th place, but always the shooting is, you never know who will have a good and who will have a bad day. And we have now very tight fight in the top.
Yeah.
Only 0.9 in its standing position, 50-meter rifle. It is very hard, so anything can happen in this final.
Yeah, but Zelinger is in 5th position right now, and she's behind Lecara with a difference of a 3.4. We'll see if she'll manage to.
She shot 10.8.
She shot a 10.8, but Lehara, who no,
No.
wasn't enough for
Stop.
Zellinger. She's going to leave this finals, winning the 8th place.
5th place.
The 5th place, I'm sorry.
No
It's so
problem.
nice that
Yeah.
you're here.
Okay, but now look again, 0.9 between Hiltrop and Norma on first place, then 1.8 is different between Lambert and Lehara, so really tight difference.
Yes,
and
but we can agree that for Zellinger, a 3.4 of a
Yeah, it
difference.
was too much. It was
too much
yeah.
to stay in
for
the
one
finals.
shot. She made too
For
much
one shot,
mistakes
yeah.
in kneeling before, so because she was shooting really nice in standing.
Yeah, Norman still in the lead. Nice, a difference of
0.9.
0.9. That's
For
good.
the
It was
next
it was a
competition,
0.4.
But difference
actually.
between
No.
Hiltrop and Lambert is only 0.1.
Yeah,
so
it's very close. They're
and
very close.
And Lehara is waiting her chance. She's waiting that somebody from Hiltrop or Lambert makes a mistake, and then she
Yeah.
has a medal.
Now we currently have 4 athletes in the finals. The next shot is going to decide who are going to be the medalist at the Osijek 2019 World Parachuting Sports World Cup.
Norman 10.6, really good
Norman
shot.
10.6, the Hara 9.7, but we have Lambert with an 8.3. It
And
wasn't
Lehara,
enough.
yeah, 0.4
Wasn't
behind
enough.
third place, so she
Oh,
wins
she's
fourth
she's
place.
smiling, but she's not.
Yeah, she's
She can't really
Yeah.
decide on which
she's
kind of a smile that
disappointed or
is.
she is happy, but very nice shooting from
It's a
Lehara.
very nice shooting from
So
her.
we
but
should
fourth
congratulate
place.
her. She will prepare herself on her way to Tokyo
Yeah.
in next year, and
She's
this
young,
is
this is a
only the
good-
learning experience
Yeah.
for her.
It's a good experience to have, absolutely. Norman having 1.8 of a difference now. She shot a 10.6. That's an awesome shot for standing position, especially
Yes.
for
For the
her, as
next
we saw.
Yeah, but
competition shot,
That's not her
low.
favorite
Yeah.
position.
2 more shots, and she must keep it steady now. 2 more shots. We saw in the
Start.
past, also with ISSF athletes, Matt Amos is famous about missing the last shot in the finals in free position. So we must keep calm, wait those 2 shots, and see what will happen, because really 50-meter rifle, a lot of this can happen.
Yeah, a
and
lot can
Hiltrop
happen
shot
in
10.7.
50 meter. A 10.3 Norman,
Yeah.
great, and Lambert a
And Lambert
7.4. But she was already ready to win the bronze medal, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
But again,
Representing
now
Great Britain,
we
Lambert
have
Lorraine.
Norman and Hiltrop.
Congratulations.
1.4.
1.4, yeah. The bronze medalist now, representing Great Britain, Lorraine Lambert.
Yes,
She
you
can
said.
be really pleased.
Yeah,
Competition
you
shot,
said she was
low.
ready for the bronze, but now we can see 1.4, one
No,
shot.
she's happy. She's so happy.
And
Start.
we need now to concentrate, because 1.4 is not so big advantage
No,
in the
it's
standing
not.
position.
It's not. Anything can happen.
Yes. and
Hiltrop could just take it.
Yeah. We can feel the
Okay.
tension.
It's very tough.
Hiltrop 9.6, Norman 9.5. So
Stop.
Norman won this.
Yeah.
Results
Final.
of final.
If Hiltrop had a 10, she
Yes.
could have easily.
Yeah,
She could have easily. But
Yeah.
in this way,
Silver medal for
Norman won
We
this final.
have,
She won the world record today. She won the World Cup final. So it is her
she
day.
deserves it.
You said it before. She is
Yeah.
lady on fire today.
She's a lady on fire today. She deserves it. The gold medal going to our Norman Anna from Sweden,
Yes.
Swedish
Second-
representative.
Second
And on
place
second place,
is going to
representing
Germany.
Germany is Natasha Hiltrop. She won the silver medal. Now for the presentation of
Great Britain,
the medal winners. Bronze medal, Lambert Lorraine. Silver medal, Hiltrop Natasha from Germany. And the gold medal,
medal winner,
Norman Anna representing Sweden.
from the end.
Lady
This was
on fire. for
Lady on
today.
fire. We should definitely have that. Well, that was all for this final.
Yes, but we see all our audience soon because we have one more final
Yeah,
on
we have
Pampas
one
50
more
meter
final.
range today.
Place tomorrow.
Very, very soon at 3 o'clock, no, 3:30
3:30, yes.
is the next finals. Also the 50 meter,
Yes.
but this time
Men
men.
event.
So we're gonna see if that finals is gonna be as interesting as this one because I can tell you I love this finals.
Yeah, this was very interesting final, and we expect the same final for the men today. So please join us again for the free position
Absolutely.
SH1 men final in 3:30.
Yeah. See ya.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye. Hello and greetings from the Osijek 2019 World Shooting Parasport World Cup. This is the third finals of the day. We just had the second finals, the 50-meter three-position women. Now we have the 50-meter three-position men. While the women were shooting, there was a little bit of rain. It's very sunny now, but it's still, the weather is okay. The temperature is not too high. I'm Martina and I'm going to be your host for this finals along with my co-host Robert Ferenčak. Hello.
Hello, welcome back to the final. As Martina said, we have nice weather, no more rain, practically no wind on the range, and the conditions for this final are perfect, and we expect the perfect final of the day.
They're absolutely perfect. Our shooters are doing the sighting shots right now. We have a few more minutes left until we start with the presentations of our athletes. We can see them in kneeling position. They always start with the kneeling position and the sighting series from that.
Yes, and again we have all three positions of SH1 free position men shooting. We have athletes in the wheelchairs, we have ISSF kneeling position athlete, and also we have kneeling position from a chair. So for our audience we can see all three positions, and on live we can see some pre-competition, pre-finals checks that were made before the finals for the athletes. So every athlete is checked, his equipment is checked before the start of the competition, and also we can see now athletes are being checked for the overlapping. That means that their jackets are not too tight to their body. It is prescribed how much overlapping on the jacket is minimum and also the maximum, and overlapping is measured with a special device which pulls 6 to 8 kilos. So we determine that all athletes have the same condition to be in this final.
30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds for the sighting. Now we're in the finals hall at the shooting range Pampas. We can see Al-Rahmani Obaid now in the position H in his sighting series. He looks a bit maybe tired. I hope he's gonna get better for the finals, for the first.
Yeah, the final is long and the athletes are keeping them calm. They're preparing them for this final, and now
Unload.
we will have the
Athletes may remain
presentation
in
of the
position,
athletes,
but
and this
turn
will a little
heads
bit
and faces
break up their
towards
rhythm, so they
spectators.
have to put the rifles down now, and
Yes.
we can see,
They're putting safety flags in.
yes,
They only turn their heads, so they don't change their position. They just turn their heads towards the spectators.
yes. It is the same like in able-body shooting, so we can see some relaxed faces, and also we can see some athletes look a little bit nervous. Sometimes they look just a little bit bored on the firing line, but they're not bored, they're just
No.
concentrating,
Yes.
they're focusing on the job they have to do. 45 match shots in the best manner.
Yeah.
United Arab Emirates.
Now we have it
Al-Irami Abdullah.
in firing position A, representing United Arab Emirates, Abdullah Saif Al-Aryani. He was the Asian Paralympic Games gold medalist from 2014.
On the firing point B, from Ukraine, he will shoot in ISSF kneeling position, winner of World Cup 2015 and 2016, Doroshenko Andrei.
On firing point C.
Then again we have United Arab Emirates. Actually we have three representatives in the finals from the United Arab Emirates. He was a Paralympic gold medalist 2012 and a two-times world champion in 2018 for 50 prone and 3P. Zalriani Abdullah Sultan.
On D, from Slovakia, we have silver medalist from World Cup 2015 in 10 meters. It is Morvaj Radoslav.
Then on firing position E, he is from Israel and the world champion from 2006, Shaziri Daron.
On firing point F,
and on pair we accept very tight shooting and very high scoring, and I think we will have quite score until the end, last few shots in this final.
Yes, now they have a little bit of time to prepare back for the kneeling position for the first three series of 5 shots. Let's just remind the audience we have 3 series of shots in the and they started. Now we have already a 10.2 by Doroshenko, a representative of Ukraine. It's interesting, I saw Shaziri from Israel. He actually began competing in 1987, so he's a very experienced shooter. We're going to see what we can expect from him here in this finals at the Osijek 2019.
He's very experienced, and also I think he has already got the quota for the Paralympic Games in Rio, so he's relaxed, he's
in
calm.
Tokyo?
In Tokyo, I'm sorry, yes. He's relaxed, he's calm, and he has a lot of experience, and he should handle this situation with this perfect condition quite well, but you never know.
It's always really nice to watch experienced shooters shoot because you can learn a lot from them. Oh.
Yeah, we can also see Al-Dahmani. He shot 6 point something, very bad shot for kneeling, and this puts him really low on the ranking, and he will have to do a lot of work to gain this disadvantage, because we can expect numbers 50 and more.
But that's what happens. It's normal in the finals. Sometimes it just happens. It's a very hard thing to do. Be in the finals. Everybody's watching, and the athletes have some expectations from themselves as well.
Yeah.
So you can make a mistake very easily. They have to be very, very concentrated for long periods of time. It sometimes can be very hard.
Yeah, he shot 3 good 10s after that, but this 6 will put him down on ranking. He will have to do much more effort than the others, because he already has 1 bad shot he has to cover in this final.
Yeah, we're gonna see how he's gonna do in the prone position. That's usually the best position for the athletes, so maybe he'll come back here. We'll see.
Yeah, and all of them are shooting quite fast. We can see almost all are already finished. Only Shurani has 4 shots.
Yeah, we can, well, because they're shooting so fast, I feel like there's a little bit of more nervousness than it was in the women's finals, would you say?
No, I think men's normally shot faster in the kneeling position. They set themselves faster, and it is quite usual that they are fast in the final, but always you have 1 or 2 of them which are a bit slower, so the timing at the end will be the same. But
that's interesting. Okay, so we have they finished the first series, and Al-Aryani here, Abdullah Sultan, yeah, he's in the first position right now. Behind him is Doroshenko with only a difference of a half a point. We have Al-Rahmani Obaid, the representative for the United Arab Emirates, in the 8th position. But that's only the first series.
Yes, and Al-Aryani is also a very experienced shooter. He is winner of he won Paralympic gold medalist 2012. He's world champion from 2018. So he really has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and he can do the job. He can be one of the best. We can see him now. He's not the happiest with the shot. He shot 8.9.
It wasn't a good shot for any of the athletes, as I can see. It's some 8s actually, some 9s. I was expecting a little bit more 10s, but they're just getting into it. I can see Al-Rahmani Obaid, he is a little bit unpleased with his shot now here.
It looks like the lightning is a little bit changing. The sun is going behind the clients, and the groups on the targets will move immediately after the sun changes the position. So you really have to use the experience to handle this, to overdo this handicap when the light changes, and then the knowledge, the real free position knowledge comes to play.
Yeah, but the good thing is, of course, they all have the same. They all have the same targets, the same
Yes.
lighting. It's all the same for everybody.
Yes,
so
the lighting is the same for everybody, but now we can see who has the knowledge, who
Yeah.
can handle
yeah, who can
changing the
handle the
sights
changes, right?
when
yeah.
the lights a little bit changes on the range. It is normal that the light is changing, especially in this kind of long of the final. So we can see now they are getting themselves back, but first change when the light a little bit changes is the hardest for the athletes.
Yes, they're kind of getting the groups a little bit more tight. I can see Shurani having 3 10s in a row. That's great. Also, Alariani, as I can see, has a few 10s here.
And Doroshenko, he shot 1-8, but all 4 of them others are really good 10s. So he made a mistake, but immediately he covered it. He shot good 10s, so his score is still good, and he's in the lead now.
We have a few more shots. I think most of them are already finished with the second series.
Yeah, Shurani, we're waiting again for him, and I think that Shaziri is also has 4 shots. So
Yes, he has a
those 2 are the slowest one in this final. So
he has a good score though. Even but Doroshenko has a 101.3. As I can see, that's the best score
yes,
in the finals so far. He
and
took up
Shaziri has
the
a
lead.
100.9, so
Stop.
also really good shooting from Shaziri.
Yeah, they're actually very, very close together. Doroshenko in the lead after this series,
Now
followed
second
by
place Alariani. He was leader after the first.
Abdul Sultan. He's in the second position, following him with a difference of only 0.3. And right behind them is Shaziri with
For the
a
next
difference of
competition
only
series,
0.1.
low.
So the first 3 places are actually very, very tight together.
Yes, tight scoring, small differences. Now this is first series of kneeling, and after that there is changeover time, and this will be also decide a lot, because they will have to be fast. They will have to go to sighting as soon as possible to
Yes.
prepare for the final.
Especially Doroshenko. He's the only one shooting in the ICCF way.
Yes, and Alariani shot 10.8, so he wants to go back in the lead. So we can see now they are in the final. The shots are getting better and better, and the kneeling position, it is quite demanding, especially for Doroshenko shooting in the ISSF style.
Yeah, but Doroshenko had a 10.4, now he had a 10.5, so he's managing his
Yeah, really
kneeling
good.
position, but Alariani is keeping up also with a 10.6 after his 10.8 that he
yeah.
had.
And also
Very good
Shaziri
shots.
has 10.1. He's slower a little bit, but also we can see the score. Shurani 10.5. Morvai now is in the 10s, so we'll have very small differences between the athletes, and this final will be very interesting until the end of the final.
We can see here Al-Dahmani, he's kind of going around, hitting some 9s. Now he hit a 10.7, trying to get back in the game.
Yeah, but when we look at Al-Dahmani, he looks nervous. He's
Yeah.
not relaxed. He
Yeah.
looks very nervous
He
in
looked
this final.
nervous from the beginning. He looked nervous in the
Yes.
sighting shots as well. Maybe he had some difficulties.
Yes. If we now look on Shurani, we are with him now. He is very calm, relaxed. You can see he's only focused on the target. And Al-Dahmani here, we can see he's not satisfied with his shooting.
Yeah, he's not very satisfied. And Shurani is actually a very slow shooter. If we look at other shooters, he only has like 3.
Yeah, but look at his score now,
But his
10.8.
scores
He's
are
really on the move now.
Great. And look at Doroshenko though. He had 5 10s in this series.
Yeah, really good shooting. So
Very good
Doroshenko,
shooting. And he's
Shurani
keeping his lead definitely with those kind of
in this
shots.
series, and Alariani, he shot 2 9s, and he put a little bit difference between him and Doroshenko now. We'll see what will Shurani do. He's a little bit slow. Again, 10.3. So
Shurani
he's
has
really
a
shooting
great
nice.
shooting technique.
Yeah.
He's very, very calm. He's not moving a lot. He's just leaving his position the whole time.
Yes.
He looks very calm.
And you can see the athletes has a water scale on their sides.
Yes, yes.
That means so they can put the rifle every shot in the same position on the same angle, which is very important of the
7
grouping.
minutes changeover
And the
starting
kneeling
time.
is finished.
Start.
So, like we said before, Doroshenko now is in the lead, and second place is Alariani Abdullah Sultan with 2.1 points behind him, and third place now is Shurani, only 0.2 behind
He's very
Alariani.
close to Alariani, but Doroshenko is taking his lead. I think he's, if he does good in the prone, he's gonna be like Norman.
Yes, it can be possible, but here in the prone, I expect also from the other athletes high scores, so we must wait. Now we can see all
course.
the coaches are helping the athletes to change the positions. Athletes must take active part of this, so they must help their coaches, otherwise they will be penalized. And a lot of work is for Doroshenko because he's ISSF style shooter.
Yeah, he
and
has to lay down. We can see him now
Yeah, and he
trying to
has
clean his place
Yeah.
to lay down.
and he has to also to adjust the most on his rifle, because when you're shooting from different heights, floor, kneeling and standing, you have more adjustments to do on the rifle. It is a little bit more difficult than on the wheelchair because you don't have so much changes on the rifle settings, but still you have to do a lot of changes on the rifle. And we can see Al-Dahmani, he still looks quite nervous, he's not calm. He's the only one doing all the changeover on his firing position, and when I look at him, he's not satisfied. He is nervous. So
Sometimes athletes are just not very into it. Maybe he wasn't really pleased with the qualification score or something. Maybe it's not really
Yeah.
his day, but he was very fast
Yeah.
at changing. I think he's going to start with his sighting shots now.
yes, because he was shooting kneeling, and now he's going to prone, and from the wheelchair it's almost the same settings. Its difference is only 2 centimeters on the left hand for the kneeling block.
Yeah, we have a few of them actually laying down, as I can see.
Also
Shazade is
Shaziri,
also laying down.
he will shoot prone in
Yeah,
ISSF style.
and Doroshenko,
And Doroshenko,
also
yes.
ISSF style,
Yeah,
and the rest of them
Are in the
have
wheelchairs.
are in the wheelchairs. So they have their like little tables for
Yes.
the prone. They have one of their elbows
no, for
on
the
the
prone,
table.
both of the elbows must be on
Both
the table.
of the elbows
In the
are on
kneeling
the table.
position, only one elbow can be
Oh,
on the
okay.
table, and they must use a block for the kneeling, which is 10 centimeters diameter.
Mhm,
This is simulation of the knee, so
mhm.
they have their elbow on that block, and the
Okay.
right elbow must be off the table.
Okay, we
but
can
in-
see Doroshenko now
Yeah.
starting with his sighting series. He's trying to get in position.
Yeah, and for
Some
the
of them are
prone,
already doing it.
the wheelchair athletes must put both elbows on the table. So it is not so many settings for the prone for the wheelchair athletes, because it is very similar. But now we can hear Alariani. We can clearly see his left forearm is up from the table. The left hand must not be completely up
the
from the
table.
elbow. It must be lifted up. So
Oh, okay.
it is very interesting to see. But when you think of positions, the kneeling position or the prone position from the chair or from the table, they really have the same meaning, and
They
it
do,
is
yeah.
hard to do. Now we can see Shaziri in the ISSF prone. As we mentioned before, when you do prone the right way, you are in pain. It is not so easy as it looks on TV. It is really hard to shoot good prone position
Yeah.
lying on the floor, because you have to level all the body. You have to control your body, and you're resting only on your 2 elbows, and it's really hard.
You would think it's easy to lay down and shoot, but it's actually really, really hard. But they do have good results in prone.
Yes,
I
they
think
will.
the best results are in
Yes,
prone.
the best results in the prone are because the rifle is the most stable, but it is hard for the body in the prone position.
So Doroshenko and Shaziri laying down on the floor. Everybody else in the wheelchair. The coaches are still helping their athletes to get in position, get in place
Yeah, we
See
can
them?
see the coaches leveling
Yeah.
the athletes with their target.
We can see Shurani's athlete coach watching him if he's doing.
Yes, but on the Shurani's target, his grouping is very nice. He is in the 10 ring, so
So the coach is walking away.
yeah,
His
coach
job
is
is finished.
satisfied. His job is finished
Yeah.
for this series, and after the prone, he will have only one more changeover to do with him. But the prone, really, we can expect really high score. The athletes will be on the 10 ring. If you go out of the 10 ring in the prone, it is like a mistake, and you will gain disadvantage. We see more shots 9.1 after very good 10, so they must keep calm, they must keep in the center, because prone position is position when you can lose a lot if you do small mistakes.
Yeah. We have a few more minutes for the sighting. Then we have 3 series of the
5 shots.
5 shots in the prone position. We're gonna see. I'm very interested to see who's gonna do the best in this prone series, because I want to know if there is any difference between the ones who are doing it the ICCF way and the ones who are in the wheelchair.
I think the scores will be almost the same. The conditions outside are perfect, almost no wind.
There is no wind.
The light is stable. We have some sun there, so if it stays like this for whole 5-shot series, which will be quite fast, they have perfect condition. Everything will suit the athletes. So it will be very intense 3 series of 5
30
shots,
seconds.
because I expect score. I'm so sorry. I expect scores about 104, 105.
You do?
10-shot
That's
series.
very high. That's very
Yeah,
high.
it is prone shooting, and the athletes, we have top athletes, and we will see really high scores.
That's very soon. We see Doroshenko here in his laying position.
Yeah, they have only
Stop.
3 seconds, so the targets are being changed now for match,
Yeah.
and soon we'll start with first 5-shot series. It will be fast one.
It's going to be very
For the
fast, as I
next
can see they were a
competition
little
series,
bit faster
load.
than
Yeah, they have
than
less
women.
time for the prone also. They have only
Yeah.
150 seconds for 5 shots. So
Start.
Yeah.
really fast shooting now.
As we can see, Doroshenko is in the lead. Alariani Abdullah Sultan following him with a difference of 2.1, but we have 3 series of 5 shots in the prone that can change a lot. Okay, Alariani started with a 10.2, Doroshenko started with a 10.5. That's a really nice shot.
But one more interesting thing is, will Shurani and Shaziri, which were shooting really slow in the
Will they manage to-
will they
yeah.
manage shoot in 30 seconds rhythm?
Yeah, they are a bit slower. But I guess they're used to it. I mean, they've been shooting for some time now. They know what their times are, and they're gonna behave accordingly, I
Yes.
suppose so.
Yes,
We have some good shots. I mean, Doroshenko hitting a 10.6,
10.8, yes.
8.
And
Those
also
are-
Shurani is in the 10. Shaziri is really good. Alariani also.
Al-Dahmani has a really beautiful little group
Yeah.
of shots.
So Al-Dahmani is prone specialist. We can see his 5-shot group is perfect.
Yeah.
He shot 10.9 the last shot, so really high scoring for Al-Dahmani.
Well, I hope he's going to be happier a little bit now. He wasn't really happy
Yes.
with the kneeling position. A 10.9 by him, maybe he gets his
Yeah,
way back into
this
the
final.
rank. Right now, in the 7th and 8th positions are 2 representatives from the United Arab Emirates.
Alariani
And one of
Abdul.
them is in the first 3
Al-Dahmani.
positions, yeah.
So Doroshenko is still in the lead. He shot 51.0. The same score was Alariani Abdullah Sultan, 51.0. And we're still waiting for Shurani. We said he is one of the slowest in kneeling and also the slowest in the prone. And I think this makes him a little bit of problems, because he's by the time pressure for every shot because he knows he
Yeah.
slower rhythm and he needs to do it
Stop.
more.
There he is. What?
We didn't see his
We
last
didn't
shot.
see his
Switching
last shot.
over.
Yeah. Okay.
And the first
It was
serious
10.2.
prone
10.2. Now we have in the lead still Doroshenko, making a difference of 2.1 in front of Alariani Abdullah Sultan, which means he is as good
Yes,
in
as
prone
it
as
was
we
in
kind of
kneeling, yeah.
expected.
And Shurani is still on third place, only 0.3 behind second.
He's
So
very close.
the tight score, and also Shaziri is there, 0.8
Eight?
behind
For the next
third
competition
place. So we
series,
have
load.
5 athletes with very high scores, and they are very tight, and a lot of
Start.
this can happen later in the standing position.
Yeah. They started with their second series of 5 shots in prone.
And
The
we'll
first
see now
shot is what is it? The
Doroshenko.
9.8 Doroshenko. I feel like he always has the first shot. He's very quick.
He's very fast, yes.
yeah.
And look at Al-Dahmani,
Al-Dahmani
6-10
keeping
in a
it
row.
up.
He's
Yeah.
he's really prone specialist. So he's really shooting. He has 2 10s now already, and he's shooting fast and really precise. He is in 10 ring and hitting inner 10s all the time.
I guess he expects a lot from himself. I mean, he was a gold medalist at the Asian Para Games in 2014. It's been some time.
Yes, and also maybe the prone suits him more because we can see that in prone he's really high score perfect. Also Alariani is shooting really good, and Doroshenko again. And Shurani is still in 10 ring. He's slower than others, but he's keeping his
Yes,
stance.
he's keeping his stance.
He's saving his nerves. He's saving his rhythm.
And he's being very calm, and also his coach is smiling. His coach is very calm and supportive. I think it's very important for coaches to be the support for their athletes.
Yes, and important is that coaches does not show their
Their
nervous
emotion,
because
yeah.
then their nerves will go to the athletes. So, and sometimes it's harder to be a coach in the back and look to the athlete because you cannot do anything than the athlete on the firing line, because when you are a coach at the back, you sometimes takes all the stress for the athletes to
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, you do, but I wouldn't say it's harder for the coaches. Maybe stress-wise,
Stress
it
wise,
is,
yes.
maybe, but it's definitely harder for these athletes here, fighting for their medals and everything they come here for. But I think they're very pleased here. I mean, the weather is really nice. I didn't see the light change for the last few series. I think it's quite stable. The wind is not existing.
Yeah, the wind is almost not existing. We have
Stop.
good light on the targets, and everything is perfect. And we can see also by the scores. The scores are very
The
high.
scores are high, yeah.
And Shurani is still shooting good. Al-Dahmani also is in almost in the 10 ring. But look at Alariani. His group on the firing position
For the
1.
next
It's
competition
very
series,
It's very good.
load.
It's beautiful to see when somebody's doing a really good job. We have
Start.
Doroshenko in the lead, now a difference of 1.1. It was a difference of 2.1, which means that the rest of the athletes are a little bit better
Yes.
right now, but he's keeping it. He's keeping his lead. He's
And
keeping it up.
He started with 10.7.
Oh, a
First shot
10.7.
and
Always
prone.
his first shot.
Yes, he's really fast.
And Alariani also at 10.7.
And I think this is the first series. All 8 athletes shot 10 in the same shot.
Oh no,
Look.
they didn't. The 9.9 by Shaziri.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed him. But it was very close.
Almost.
Yeah.
Very close. Almost. Yeah,
But-
this is a nice shot by everybody, I would say.
And Doroshenko 9.3. This is the bad shot. He cannot afford shot in 9.3 in prone, and
Let's see
he's
Al-Rahmani
losing
now.
his.
He had a 9.8. Wasn't very pleased with that, but his next shot, I feel like he is trying to concentrate very hard on this one. Let's see what he shot. A 10.0.
0. But look at Shurani. He's shooting really nice. His group is together.
Yes.
his column, he is slower than others, but his grouping is perfect in bronze.
You almost can't even see how many shots he had
Yeah.
because his group is so tight.
Yeah, now he shot a third shot, a little bit high, but still 10.1. Very good shooting from Shurani, and he's currently now on the second place. And Alariani is now third.
Yeah, you can see they are left with two shots in this series. Some of them are already finished.
Yeah, and
Shurani had
Shurani is normally the last.
yes,
He has
the
one
last
more
one.
shot.
And Doroshenko, he had actually 2 nines now, but that didn't put him out of the lead just yet. We
Yeah.
have to see the end of the series to know.
But the differences will be much smaller now, because we could see very good shooting from other athletes, especially Shurani now. He shot very good.
Yeah, he's
His
done
last
very,
shot is
very good.
9.8, but again he shot his
Stop.
1.9 behind
9 minutes
Doroshenko on
changeover and
first
sighting
place,
time.
and then
Start.
we have change on the third place. Is Malinovsky now third, and Alariani is on fourth position.
Okay, now they're starting with the changes. Doroshenko he kept his lead. That's okay. I didn't even expect expect it to go this high. It's 1.9. It was 1.1 after the last series.
Yes, it's interesting. He shot 2 nines, but
Yeah.
his 3 shots was really, really good 10s. So he didn't lose almost
Yeah, he
nothing
didn't
on
lose
that
anything, yeah.
on that mistakes.
It's 0.4 of a difference between third and second place Shurani. Shurani really showed he can be very good in prone
Prone,
here
yes.
in these 3 series.
And we have changed. Malinovsky now is on third place, and Alariani, Abdullah Sultan is now on fourth place. He moved from second to fourth during the prone, so he lost quite something on the prone position. And now we can see the athletes are in changeover time. They are changing. Interesting is, in the wheelchair athletes, in standing position may not use the tables, so they have to remove the tables from the wheelchairs, because they will shoot only from their hands, and they are not allowed to use the tables. And we have Doroshenko, who will shot from high chair now. We mentioned it before.
Yeah.
In high chair, when the athlete is shooting in high chair, important thing to check, and it is checked by the equipment control jury and the range jury, that he is able, when he's sitting on the high chair, he must lift both legs from the floor and sit, and he may not move on that. Otherwise, he will be using a chair like a third leg. So
Yeah.
very important to check the heights of the high chairs also. So everything is checked before the competition and also during the competition. And also we have post-competition checks for the athletes. So athletes are randomly chosen after the competition, and they are being rechecked. So we really want to make sure that all the equipment is according to the rules, and no of the athletes has not unallowed advantage in front of others.
It's really interesting to see how they know exactly what they're doing. Of course they do, but they're trying to do it as fast as they can, so they have more time for sighting shots. And it's always the athletes in the wheelchair that are first to finish with the changes and start doing the sighting shots. We see the ones who are doing it the ICCF way. They're still not ready to take a stand and be in the position for sighting shots, and some of them, like Aldahmani, he's already starting his sighting shots.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because the ISSF, okay, but Doroshenko now is shooting from a high chair. It is similar to standing. It's not quite, but you have to do quite a lot of changes on the rifle from prone to standing. So but he's also almost ready. So they changed really, really fast from the prone to standing, and they will have quite a lot of time.
They're gonna have to fix the jacket now, maybe.
Yeah, they will have to fix his complete
We have
position.
Malinovsky now. He got into his position.
Yes, he's ready for sighting, we can see, but there
Some adjustments are being made a little bit more, maybe putting
Yeah.
the monitor on the other side or something.
There is always a lot of adjustments, and especially because athletes in the wheelchair are not, they need more because the wheelchair is using more space and it sets
Yeah.
differently on the firing position as is normal human body. So it's needed more adaptation for the athletes on the firing position.
We have Doroshenko now. We can see him. He's in the high stool.
Yes.
We couldn't see his feet, but I would like to see if
Yeah,
how his feet
his
are
feet
standing.
are okay. I could check it. He's sitting correctly, and his chair is not too high, and he will be able to lift his both legs from the floor without any problem.
The coach is still helping Malinowski to
Yes, now this is fine tuning to finding the best
the
position
best position.
of the wheelchair according to the target. Sometimes the athletes need more time, and we can see Shaziri. He's also shooting from a high stool. He has a little bit of different style, but again, he's very really experienced athlete, and I expect also quite high scoring from him in standing position because
Yeah,
he will be able to judge the conditions outside. If the sun will come out, I think in standing he could do really good job.
yeah, I have to say this again. I mean, he began shooting in 1987. I mean, come on, he has a lot of experience.
Yes, he
he
has
should
all
be able
the
to.
experience of this world here, but sometimes it is harder when you are over experienced. It is harder to control yourself because you are aware of everything what can happen to you, and it's really hard to calm yourself down. When I was speaking with our experienced athletes, sometimes it's very harder to control yourself being older because
Yeah,
you know what can happen. You're not so relaxed, and you just think too much, overthink.
it has its good sides and its bad sides. But I think when you're younger, you kind of go into it a little bit more relaxed, as you said. But then, if something happens, you don't have the experience to correct it, and actually, they have. So it's interesting to see how they manage to
We
to
can
correct everything.
we can see the sighting shots. Al Al-Dahmani is really good in sighting,
Al-Rahman is very good. I wasn't
yeah,
expecting
and
it. because-
Malinowski also. They shoot really high score in the sighting. So we will see. It will be very interesting, and we must say these two five-shot series first now will be very important because they have to stay in first six because seventh and eighth athletes will be eliminated from this final after the 10 shots in standing position. So
Yeah,
they must keep the pressure. They cannot afford any mistakes in standing in five-shot series because if they do one mistake too much, they will be out. They will have no chance to come back.
it's interesting. Shurani is trying to get in the center. He started off very low, actually lower than I would expect, and now he's climbing up in the center. I guess he had to adjust his rifle a little bit better in the sighting.
Yes,
I think he has more time now. He
Yeah.
has enough time to do it, and I can see Doroshenko.
really on the target.
He's
Yes.
really good. I mean, his group was a little bit on the right, but now he's moving it in the center, hitting a 10.8. That's a great shot for the standing position. I think it's always the standing one that's
Yeah,
the most
the lowest
difficult
score,
for everybody.
Yeah, but we saw on Shurani's target when they changed position from prone to standing. Also, he changed position of his body, so his head and his body is set different, and he
Yeah.
had to change the sights a lot, and his elevation was wrong. But now he's getting back in the game. He is around the 10 ring, but again, Doroshenko is there. He's on the target, and Al-Dahmani now
Doroshenko is
is
very good.
spreading his group.
Yes. And he's not very pleased with that. I
Yeah.
hope he's gonna calm before the five
The-
series
30 seconds.
shots.
Yeah, he has only 30 seconds now, so he has to be quick.
Oh, that was a fast one. He
Yeah.
he did it fast. It was an
8.9.
8.9.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
not the best way to finish sighting, But when I look Al Dahmani, he looks so tense, like an anger on the firing, because other athletes are really, really relaxed, and Al Dahmani is so tense. It
I
looks
feel like
he-
something is maybe it's not his day.
yeah.
It's fine. He's gonna finish this finals, and
Stop.
Tomorrow will be another day.
tomorrow will be another day, as it always is. Of course. The judges are calling stop.
Yeah, the targets are set on match, and we'll start the first 5-shot series in
For the
standing
next
position.
competition series, load.
I think this series is gonna show us a lot where the athletes are
Start.
standing on this. We have on 6th and the 7th position the representatives of United Arab Emirates, and one of them actually in the first 4.
Yeah,
Al
Al-Ariani.
Dahmani
Al-Ariani Abdullah Sultan is 4th place.
yeah, Al Dahmani shot first this time. It wasn't Doroshenko.
Yeah,
He hit 9.7. Doroshenko hitting a 9.5. The only 10 we had was More at 10.5 and Al-Ariani.
and we still
at
wait
10.
like usual. We wait for Shurani to fire the last shot.
Yeah,
He takes a lot of time.
it's okay if that suits him. That's fine. How many seconds do they have now for the
They have 4 minutes and 10 seconds. They
4
have
minutes and 10 seconds?
50 seconds per shot in
Mhm.
average. So they have enough time here, but again, we have perfect conditions.
Yeah.
There is practically no wind,
Al
so
Dahmani hit a 8.7. I guess is spreading his group a little bit. Doroshenko is coming back into the center with a 10.3, but Morey is doing a great job with a 10.6 and
yeah, Moray is really shooting
a
very well.
10.4 now. I
Yeah.
guess he's in the 7th place right now, but he's gonna go up after the series if he continues with
Continues,
his good shots.
And Shaziri is quite left now, and his
Yeah.
experience, he should set himself. He should find his tendering because his elevation is perfect, but he's off on left. Now he's off on the right side.
Yeah, he maybe changed it a little bit more than he should.
Yeah.
We can see Al Dahmani. Now he shot a 10.0, the last one.
And our leader, Doroshenko, he
Doroshenko,
looks
yeah.
so calm. He
He
looks
is so calm. He's not
relaxed,
even, yeah, you can't even quite notice any nervousness in him. He's just shooting one shot by another. Whatever he shots, you can't really see any
Any emotions, yes.
emotion.
He's really calm,
He's doing it very calmly, yeah.
and concentrated. Really nice shooting.
Al-Ariani Abdullah Saif, he had a 7.5, and
Yeah,
he's already in the 8th place.
yeah. Standing is
see
not
if,
his favorite position. Also, he shot only 110, so it is not his bad position.
Yeah, he could be the one to
Candidate
fall out,
fall out in.
the finals in the first draft of it. We have in 7th position
Yes.
Al Dahmani.
Yeah.
Well,
Stop.
they are finished with their first series of 5 shots. After the next series of 5 shots, 2 of the finalists are
After the next
Being
five
eliminated from
being
this final.
eliminated from this finals, and
eliminated.
right now it looks like that's going to be Al Dahmani Abaid and Al-Ariani Abdullah Saif, both representatives of the United Arab Emirates. But in third position is Al-Ariani Abdullah Sultan, also from the United Arab Emirates, and Doroshenko keeping his lead with a difference of 1.7 in front of
For the
Shurani,
next
who is just
competition series,
Shurani just
load.
keeps climbing up very calmly, very peacefully.
He's now
Nobody's
settled
even
on his
noticing
second
him.
place
Start.
after the prone, and he's shooting nice standing. And also,
Yeah,
Malinovsky also now climbed on 3rd place, and he's there. He holds his 3rd place. He shoots calmly. You will not see him, but his score is good enough to be there without any problems.
Yeah, I feel like the two of them have been the most calm and steady for the whole finals. They didn't have any like too good or too bad
Yeah.
of shots. They were just very stable.
Yeah,
For the
they are
whole-
stable shooters the whole final. So
Yeah.
this also is
Loroshenko.
good. Yeah.
A 10.7. That's the best shot for the first shot in this 5-shot series. Doroshenko is really keeping his lead, and he's. I'm very actually surprised of how calm he is. If he's keeping the lead for the whole finals. It's interesting now. He had a 9.2 on the left a little bit.
We are now with Alariani, Abdullah Sultan, and this is Vadovichova.
Yeah.
She is probably a little bit disappointed after not so successful final in free position for ladies. Alariani, he shot an 8 also. He's not so happy. I think he's quite disappointed with this
Yeah,
scoring here.
But Doroshenko is keeping up. He's continuing with
And also Shurani.
10.6.
And also Shurani.
And Shurani he is so good that I don't even notice him. He's just like
Yeah,
in the
it's
background being
quiet
very
river
good.
will
Quiet
make
and just
everything.
shooting very, very nicely.
Yeah.
Doroshenko 10.9. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good job.
Standing, hitting 10.9 is really good job. So he's our current leader, and he's really showing who's the boss in this final.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
shooting.
Just
I
like
think-
Norman did, yeah.
I think from the first series he's in the lead to all the final. He's keeping calm. He doesn't let his opponents to come close to him. He's just
Yeah.
doing his job.
He's just doing his job very calmly. But there was a 10.2 now. He had a reaction. It looked like he thought it was going to go somewhere else, but I guess he was saved. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes in shooting when you do a
Mistake,
double
yeah.
mistake and then it's like
Yeah.
2 minuses make a plus. That's what happened maybe.
Or sometimes you do mistake after the bullet
Yeah,
exits
after it's
the
always-
barrel,
yeah.
but you're not aware of that. But look again, Shurani shooting really slow, calm.
He's always the one who has been. They're waiting for him to finish. Him and also Malinovsky, I think.
Yeah,
Both of them shoot
Stop.
quite
but
slowly.
they are on
Ladies
their
and
way
gentlemen,
to
after the
medals
fourth shot, we have the
Yes,
first
absolutely.
position.
because
Eighth
Absolutely.
place, representing
we can
United
see
And
our
now-
score now.
After the
Al-Ariani
after this series of
Abdullah Saeed.
5 shots in the standing
Please
position,
big applause for him.
two of the finalists are eliminated from the
And
finals,
seventh
and
place
winning the
Also
8th
representing
place
United Arab
is
Emirates,
Alariani
Bin
Abdullah Saif.
Al-Hamid
And winning 7th place is Al-Rahmani Obaid, both representatives of the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, and we'll continue with single shots now. Doroshenko is still in the lead. His lead is now 4.5 in front of Shurani on second
That's
place.
a big, big difference.
Yes.
We're waiting for them to
Start the single
exit
shots.
exit the finals line. A little bit slower there with Al-Rahmani. He had to put the safety pin in.
And interesting is Malinovsky is also very close to Shurani. 0.7 difference between Shurani and Malinovsky on second place. And now we have some
Well,
reaction
yes,
from
applause.
audience. Yes.
Competition shot. Load.
Okay, now we're starting with one shot.
Start.
Yeah, this shot will decide sixth place. So
This shot will decide the 6th place.
Moray
so-
and Shaziri are here in the danger zone, but Shaziri has 2.5 in front of Moray
Yeah.
on sixth place. So Shaziri should not be worried about this, but next shot will be really harder for him.
but anything can happen in the standing position, I guess. So even now, you can't really know who's gonna go from the finals, Morway or Shirazi, because it's a 2.5 difference, and if
Yeah.
one of them
Shirazi
makes a
hits
mistake,
9.2, he's still in the final.
Stop.
9.2,
Was he not?
Morey
Because he has
9.2.
2.5 advantage, so
Oh, it's, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
sixth place will
after
go
the
to
first single shot,
Moraj
sixth
Radoslav,
place with
Slovakia.
Morvej
Slovakia,
Radoslav
yeah.
representing Slovakia. Congratulations.
He already put his safety pin, and I guess
I think his safety flag
Safety
fall down
flag.
on the floor, and he needs a little bit of help. Okay.
okay. His coach is helping him.
Yeah, it is allowed.
He won sixth place. That's okay. That's good. He
For the next
went through the
competition
whole
shot,
finals. You know,
low.
he got some experience. He
Yeah.
even did the
And
the
now
one shot. Now we
Start.
have
Shaziri and Alariani in the danger zone. 1.2
Absolutely,
between
yeah.
of them. It is not so big a difference.
But
and
there's
in
a bigger
standing
difference,
position can happen to everything.
a 3.4 behind Malinovsky and the third place. So it's really only between Alariani and
Shaziri.
Shaziri. Yeah.
But we must
Stop.
mention something. Shurani fired first shot in this series. This is something new in this final.
Yeah.
42 shots.
And it was
First
10.1. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was really good shot, fast one. And
Win
first time he shot the first in this final, and he shot 10.1 in
now-
standing.
Representing Israel, we have Shaziri Doron, and he won fifth place. It's very interesting how the whole finals is going on, and everyone is trying to make the best of the results that they're having. And then once they start falling out, then you
Yeah.
see what they did for the whole finals. You know, it's clear who had the biggest advantage, because this one shot, it doesn't really make a difference because of all of the shots they shot
Yeah, but
before.
Now when we come to after this shot, we will have, okay, Alariani is 3.6 behind third place, so
For the next
he has to do
competition
really
shot,
good shot,
low.
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
opponent has to have a bad shot.
Yeah.
But then Malinovsky and Shurani, they will have
Start.
duel in this one shot. If it stays like this, it will be very tense.
Alariani now has to shoot a nice one, and if he wants to stay in the finals,
His
Malinovsky
opponent
is going
must
to
m-
have to
must
make a
make
mistake.
Alariani 10.1.
Let's see what Malinovsky is going to have. Oh, an
8.8.
8.8. This could actually...
It is.
No.
Yeah.
It's too little of a difference, but Malinovsky is staying in the game, but you can see that he was very,
Stop.
very nervous to stay in for the medals.
And everything is normal. Shurani
After
shot the
14
last shot of this series
Fourth
again,
place,
so we are still in
representing
normal
United
order like
Arab
before.
Emirates.
And fourth place goes to Alariani Abdullah Sultan from United Arab
Al-Ariani.
Emirates.
Yeah, he's a representative
Sultan.
for the United Arab Emirates. There was 3 representatives in this finals. I'm sad to see that none of them got a medal.
Yeah, but we still have some competitions, and they will have more chances to
No,
win
of
the
course,
medal.
of course.
And in this situation, we can be honest and say Doroshenko, Shurani, and Malinovsky was one step in front
For
of
the next
everybody.
competition
Yeah,
shot,
they were.
low.
And they are the medalists today for the Osijek 2019 World
Start.
Shooting Parasport World Cup for the 50-meter rifle 3-position men SH1.
Yes.
There's a difference between Doroshenko and Shurani. I mean, it's a 5.4
yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
1.1
huge
between
difference.
Shurani and Malinovsky, it's not so big.
yes.
And we will see. But
The next
Doroshenko
shot.
will shot normally the first. Okay, he shot 9.8. Malinovsky 9.7.
And we're waiting for Shurani.
And Shurani needs 8.6 to stay in the final. So this shot is decisive for the bronze and the silver medal, because Doroshenko's
He's okay.
advantage.
Let's see what he shot.
Stop.
A 10.7.
Really nice shot.
Amazing. Really nice shot at the moment that he really
Ladies
needed
and
one.
gentlemen, after 44 shots, we have a third place.
He is
and
completely
bronze
safe
medal
now, yeah.
Winner.
Yeah,
It is Malinovsky representing
Now we
Slovakia.
have the bronze medal winner from Slovakia, Malinovsky Radoslav.
yes, and one more shot to
For the
go.
next
And
competition
Doroshenko
shot,
is in the lead.
low.
Shurani on second place, 4.5 difference
congratulating
between
him.
them, and
Start.
Doroshenko has to make a big mistake, so Shurani will have a chance for
Yeah,
gold
but
medal.
Doroshenko didn't make any mistakes
Yes.
here in this finals. One mistake. He had 1-8, I
Yes,
think.
but he was really calm, and
He was very calm about it.
if he shots his shot good, yes, he shot 10.2. He
Of
deserved
course,
that
yeah.
gold medal in this final
He
because
definitely
he was
deserved
really
this
the
gold
best in
medal.
this final.
Yeah, but we're waiting for Shuranya.
Everything is normal. Shurani is shooting the last shot of the final, like almost
Yeah.
all final.
Yeah. It's just, you can say
9.3.
it just should have been
Yeah.
like that.
Unload. Results are final.
Amazing, congratulations, Doroshenko, Andriy, representative from Ukraine. He had a beautiful, beautiful finals. He was very, very calm and
And
very pleased.
Shurani looks disappointed a little bit, but his shooting was really nice, and he also deserved his silver medal. But
Absolutely.
knowing Laszlo, he's always so serious. He is the type of the athlete who's always serious, who's always focused, and he will need now some time to relax after this final.
Absolutely. They're taking them now for a little bit of photos and just to present them to
Our audience.
our audience here and the audience watching.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for this second 50-meter final, but we expect you back in another final,
Yes,
which
of
will
course.
be
We have
later.
one more final for the day. It's a fourth final
Slovakia
and the last one at
is
the
Paranovsky,
Gradsky
the
Vrt
silver
Sports
medal
Hall.
winner, representing
Now we have the presentation
Serbia
Yes.
again of our
is Shurani Laszlo,
of the athletes.
and the gold medal winner,
Bronze medal
representing
Malenovsky
Ukraine,
Radoslav from
Doroshenko.
Slovakia. Silver medal Shurani Laszlo, representative of Serbia, and a gold medal representative of Ukraine, Doroshenko Andriy, who absolutely deserved this.
Yeah, he was on the fire for this final, and he is the king of free position man SH1 on this World Cup. But welcome back in R4 final, which will be in Gradsky Vrt,
Absolutely, in
because
Gradsky Vrt
it will be a
at,
really interesting final with high scoring, with really intense until the last shot. I can promise you that this will be one of the most interesting final you have ever watched, because the differences will be very small, the scoring will be really high, and I ask you to join us again for this final.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be in, I think, 2 hours. In 2 hours, we're going to see you back, and goodbye.
Thank you, and goodbye.